The Path of Purification, Visuddhimagga, of Bhadantācariya Buddhaghosa, published by the Buddhist Publication Society, Kandy, Sri Lanka. Part 2. Concentration, Samadhi.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Chapter 7. 6 Recollections, Cha Anusati Nidesa. Extracts passage 26 to 45. Fully enlightened. He is fully enlightened, Samma Sambuddha, because he has discovered Buddha, all things rightly, Samma, and by himself, Samma. In fact, all things were discovered by him rightly, by himself, in that he discovered of the things to be directly known, that they must be directly known, that is, learning about the Four Truths, of the things to be fully understood, that they must be fully understood, that is, penetration of suffering, of the things to be abandoned, that they must be abandoned, that is, penetration of the origin of suffering, of the things to be realized, that they must be realized, that is, penetration of the cessation of suffering, and of the things to be developed, that they must be developed, that is, penetration of the path. Hence it is said, what must be directly known is directly known. What has to be developed has been developed. What has to be abandoned has been abandoned. And that, Brahman, is why I am enlightened. Besides, he has discovered all things rightly by himself, step by step. Thus, the I is the truth of suffering, the prior craving that originates it by being its root cause is the truth of origin. The non-occurrence of both is the truth of cessation. The way that is the act of understanding cessation is the truth of the path. And so, too, in the case of the ear, the nose, the tongue, the body, and the mind. And the following things should be construed in the same way. The 6 bases, beginning with visible objects. The 6 groups of consciousness, beginning with eye consciousness. The 6 kinds of contact, beginning with eye contact. The 6 kinds of feeling, beginning with the eye contact bond. The 6 kinds of perception, beginning with perception of visible objects. The 6 kinds of volition, beginning with volition about visible objects. The 6 groups of craving, beginning with craving for visible objects. The 6 kinds of applied thought, beginning with applied thought about visible objects. The 6 kinds of sustained thought, beginning with sustained thought about visible objects. The 5 aggregates, beginning with the aggregate of matter. The 10 kasinas, the 10 recollections, the 10 perceptions, beginning with the perception of the bloated. The 32 aspects of the body, beginning with head hairs. The 12 bases, the 18 elements, the 9 kinds of becoming, beginning with sensual becoming. The 4 jhanas, beginning with the first. The 4 measureless states, beginning with the development of loving kindness. The 4 immaterial attainments, the factors of the dependent origination in reverse order, beginning with aging and death, and in forward order, beginning with ignorance. Herein, this is the construction of a single clause of the dependent origination. Aging and death is the truth of suffering. Birth is the truth of origin. The escape from both is the truth of cessation. The way that is the act of understanding cessation is the truth of the path. In this way, he has discovered, progressively discovered, completely discovered all states rightly and by himself, step by step. Hence, it was said above, he is fully enlightened because he has discovered all things rightly and by himself. Endowed with clear vision and virtuous conduct, he is endowed with clear vision and virtuous conduct. Vijja charana sampanno, vijahi charanena cha sampanno. Resolution of compound. Herein, as to clear vision, there are 3 kinds of clear vision and 8 kinds of clear vision. The 3 kinds should be understood as stated in the Bhairava Sutta, and the 8 kinds as stated in the Ambatta Sutta. For there 8 kinds of clear vision are stated, made up of the 6 kinds of direct knowledge, together with insight and the supernormal power of the mind-being body. Virtuous conduct should be understood as 15 things, that is to say, restraint by virtue, guarding the doors of the sense faculties, knowledge of the right amount in eating, devotion to wakefulness, the 7 good states, and the 4 jhanas of the fine material sphere. For it is precisely by means of these 15 things that a noble disciple conducts himself, that he goes towards the deathless. That is why it is called virtuous conduct, according as it is said, here Mahanama, a noble disciple has virtue, etc., the whole of which should be understood as it is given in the middle 50 of the Majjhima Nikaya. Now the Blessed One is endowed with these kinds of clear vision and with this conduct as well. Hence he is called endowed with clear vision and virtuous conduct. Herein, the Blessed One's possession of clear vision consists in the fulfillment of omniscience, while his possession of conduct consists in the fulfillment of the great compassion. He knows through omniscience what is good and harmful for all beings, and through compassion he warns them of harm and exhorts them to do good. That is how he is possessed of clear vision and conduct, which is why his disciples have entered upon the good way instead of entering upon the bad way, as the self-mortifying disciples of those who are not possessed of clear vision and conduct have done. Sublime. He is called sublime, Sugata, because of a manner of going that is good, Sobhana Gamana, because of being gone to an excellent place, Sundarang Tanang Gatata, because of having gone rightly, Samma Gatata, and because of enunciating rightly, Samma Gadatta. A manner of going, Gamana, is called gone, Gata, and that in the Blessed One is good, Sobhana, purified, blameless. But what is that? It is the noble path, for by means of that manner of going, he has gone without attachment in the direction of safety. Thus he is sublime, Sugata, because of a manner of going that is good. And it is to be excellent, Sundara, place that he has gone, Gata, to the deathless, Nibbana. Thus he is sublime, Sugata, also because of having gone to an excellent place. And he has rightly, Samma, gone, Gata, without going back again to the defilements abandoned by each path. For this is said, he does not again return, go back to the defilements abandoned by the stream entry path. Thus, he is sublime. He does not again return, go back to the defilements abandoned by the Arahant path. Thus, he is sublime. Or alternatively, he has rightly gone from the time of making his resolution at the feet of Dipankara up till the enlightenment session by working for the welfare and happiness of the whole world through the fulfillment of the 30 perfections and through following the right way without deviating towards either of the two extremes, that is to say, towards eternalism or annihilationism, towards indulgence in sense pleasures or self-mortification. Thus, he is sublime also because of having gone rightly. And he enunciates Tadatti, rightly, Samma. He speaks only fitting speech in the fitting place. Thus, he is sublime also because of enunciating rightly. Here is a sutta that confirms this. Such speech as the perfect one knows to be untrue and incorrect, conducive to harm and displeasing and unwelcome to others, that he does not speak. And such speech as the perfect one knows to be true and correct, but conducive to harm and displeasing and unwelcome to others, that he does not speak. And such speech as the perfect one knows to be true and correct, conducive to good, but displeasing and unwelcome to others, that speech the perfect one knows the time to expound. Such speech as the perfect one knows to be untrue and incorrect and conducive to harm, but pleasing and welcome to others, that he does not speak. And such speech as the perfect one knows to be true and correct, but conducive to harm, though pleasing and welcome to others, that he does not speak. And such speech as the perfect one knows to be true and correct, conducive to good, and pleasing and welcome to others, that speech the perfect one knows the time to expound. Thus, he is sublime also because of enunciating rightly. Knower of wills. He is the knower of wills because he has known the world in all ways. For the Blessed One has experienced, known, and penetrated the world in all ways to its individual essence, its arising, its cessation, and the means to its cessation, according as it is said. Friend, that there is a world's end, where one neither is born, nor ages, nor dies, nor passes away, nor reappears, which is to be known or seen or reached by travel. That I do not say. Yet I do not say that there is ending of suffering without reaching the world's end. Rather, it is in the fathom-long carcass, with its perceptions and its consciousness, that I make known the world, the arising of the world, the cessation of the world, and the way leading to the cessation of the world. It is utterly impossible to reach by travel the world's end, but there is no escape from pain until the world's end has been reached. It is a sage, a knower of the worlds, who gets to the world's end, and it is he whose life's divine is lived out to its term. He is at peace who the world's end has known, and hopes for neither this world nor the next. Moreover, there are three worlds: the world of formations, the world of beings, and the world of location. Herein, in the passage, one world, all beings subsist by nutriment, the world of formations is to be understood. In the passage, the world is eternal, or the world is not eternal. It is the world of beings. In the passage, as far as moon and sun do circulate, shining and lighting up the four directions, over 1,000 times as great a world, your power holds unquestionable sway. It is the world of location. The Blessed One has known that in all ways too. Likewise, because of the words, one world, all beings subsist by nutriment, two worlds, mentality and materiality, three worlds, three kinds of feeling, four worlds, four kinds of nutriment, five worlds, five aggregates as objects of clinging, six worlds, six internal bases, seven worlds, seven stations of consciousness, eight worlds, eight worldly states, nine worlds, nine abodes of beings, 10 worlds, 10 bases, 12 worlds, 12 bases, 18 worlds, 18 elements. This world of formations was known to him in all ways. But he knows all beings' habits, knows their inherent tendencies, knows their temperaments, knows their bents, knows them as with little dust on their eyes, and with much dust on their eyes, with keen faculties and with dull faculties, with good behavior and with bad behavior, easy to teach and hard to teach, capable and incapable of achievement. Therefore, this world of beings was known to him in all ways. And as the world of beings, so also the world of location. For accordingly, this world measures as follows. One world sphere is 1,200,000 leagues and 3,450 leagues in breadth and width. In circumference, however, the measure of it all around is 630,000, and then 10,000 in addition, 400 two less, half 100. Herein, 2 times 100,000 leagues, and then 4 nahutas as well. This earth, this bearer of all wealth, has that much thickness, as they tell, and its support 4 times 100,000 leagues, and then 8 nahutas as well. The water resting on the air has that much thickness as they tell. And the support of that 9 times 100,000 goes the air out in the firmament, and 60,000 more besides. So this much is the world's extent. Such is its extent, and these features are to be found in it. Sineru, tallest of all mountains, plunges down into the sea, full 480,000 leagues, and towers up in like degree. 7 concentric mountain rings surround Sineru in such wise that each of them in depth and height is half its predecessor's size. Vast ranges called Yugandhara, Ishadara, Karavika, Sudarsana, Nimindara, Vinataka, Asakana. Heavenly breezes fan their cleaves agleam with gems, and here reside the 4 kings of the cardinal points, and other gods and sprites beside. Himalaya's lofty mountain mass rises in height 500 leagues, and in its width and in its breadth it covers quite 3,000 leagues, and then it is bedecked besides with 480,000 peaks. The jambu tree called Naga lends the name by its magnificence to Jambudipa's land. Its trunk thrice 5 leagues in circumference, soars 50 leagues, and bears all round branches of equal amplitude, so that 100 leagues define diameter and altitude. The World Sphere Mountains line of summits plunges down into the sea, just 280,000 leagues, and towers up in like degree, and ringing one world element all round in its entirety. And the size of the jambu rose apple tree is the same as that of the Chitrapataliya tree of the Asura demons, the Simbali tree of the Garula demons, the Kandamba tree in the western continent of Aparagoyana, the Kappa tree in the northern continent of the Uttarakurus, the Sirisa tree in the eastern continent of Pubba Videha, and the Parichataka tree in the heaven of the deities of the 33 Tavatimsa. Hence, the ancient said, the Patali, Simbali, and Jambu, the deities Parichataka, the Kandamba, the Kappa tree, and the Siresa as the 7th. Herein, the moon's disk is 49 leagues across, and the sun's disk is 50 leagues. The realm of Tavatimsa, the 33 gods, is 10,000 leagues. Likewise, the realm of the Asura demons, the great Avicii, unremitting hell, and Jambudipa, India. Aparagoyana is 7,000 leagues. Likewise, Pubba Videha, Uttarakuru is 8,000 leagues, and herein each great continent is surrounded by 500 small islands, and the whole of that constitutes a single world sphere, a single world element. Between this and the adjacent world spheres are the Lokaantarika, world interspace hells. So the world spheres are infinite in number, the world elements are infinite, and the Blessed One has experienced, known, and penetrated them with the infinite knowledge of the enlightened ones. Therefore, this world of location was known to him in all ways too, So he is knower of worlds because he has seen the world in all ways.